right, so
Peace, family. Peace, family. Peace and love, Katera. How you doing? Indeed. I just want to tap in. I'm about to go live with a brother who's interviewing me. Brother by the name of Dooney. All right.
Space.
Dooney, yeah. Dooney is in the community. He's in Connecticut. He's been doing good work in the community. Dooney kept me with a fucking shape up during this Corona lockdown. There's a lot of stuff going on in society right now. Sister Kateria, Brother Ra'akul, many of the astrologic Aquarius Maximus, they've been dropping. Yeah, shout out to Kings County. This is the Smatawi collection, red and blue. All right, dealing with unification of the two forces. But for my astrological cosmophysics out there, they broke down the conjunctions that have been taking place. They have explained to us that Pluto was in retrograde. They've also shared the fact that Saturn and Pluto conjuncted, right? And as a result of that, a lot of things as above, so below. So as a result of that, we're being challenged. And as a result of that challenge, many of us are feeling that challenge. Now, this moon that's out there, this Scorpion, this moon got me on edge. I'm not going to lie. Like, I've been fighting through a lot of emotional buildup over the past few days. And I've been trying to keep a lid on my temper. But this moon got me, it kind of got me, it's speaking to me. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are on edge because they saw the brother get killed while he was jogging, Brother Ahmad. And then right after that, the young brother got killed on Facebook Live in a stolen car in Indianapolis. The brother by the name of Sean, right? Young brother. He was in the quote-unquote armed services. He served his country before. He gave Uncle Sam his life, right? He had faith in the government. He had faith in Uncle Sam that they were going to protect him if he helped protect this nation. Right? He was promised that he wouldn't get shot in the back like other niggas, because if he had on those fatigues and whatnot, then he was somewhat safe in America. Right? Low key, that's what they're subtly telling us. Like, fam, if you get on become a police, if you become law enforcement, right? If you become like the sheriff in Florida, who they was leaking the pictures where he's be at swinger parties and whatnot, if you get down, if you cross over and become one of us, we're going to quote unquote, we don't guarantee protection. We're just going to kill you niggas last.
Wow.
That's what you get. As a result of that, you get killed last. That's it. That's because if you are a traitor to your own people, and I'm not saying that if you become law enforcement that you're a traitor to your own people. You may have grown up and your parents were showing you cowboy movies and encouraging you to protect old people in the neighborhood. So I don't necessarily feel like if you decided that you wanted to put a badge and a gun on, that you are that you're whatchamacallit, that you're a traitor to our people. I won't indict black men and women for providing for their family. I have my stepmother mother's cousin, right? He was the police. He was a detective in Brooklyn. Shout out to Gary. You know, he's a good brother. You know, his mother and his father raised him to be in service, so he became a serviceman. So I'm not necessarily talking about being in service. I'm talking about when you put that badge and that gun on and you do it with the purpose of oppressing your own because of a hatred that you have of your own. You might have been a Poindexter in school, you know? You might have been mad soft when you was coming up. You might have been kind of moist. And to become an army soldier, to become a police officer, yeah, that helps you. That's helping with the herbology. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No, you get to take out your aggression.
Making a lesion
where somebody won't punch back. You could punch with the thoughts that niggas won't punch back. You went live already?
No.
I don't think that you could do it sideways.
No.
It don't look like it.
Do it straight up?
You might have to do it straight up. So, we're doing an interview about facts right now. So I just want to bring y'all in on it because we haven't seen each other in a while. So I'm just letting y'all come in on the interview. And tonight on YouTube, the channel is Know the Ledge Media. The channel is Know the Ledge Media. What are those, pumpkin seeds?
Yep.
Yeah. What's wrong with pumpkin seeds?
Good for you.
They on my live trying to save me to death, bro.
Oh,
is that on the list of not to eat?
Oh God.
I mean, goddamn. Could a nigga just send me a care package of approved foods? Can I get that?
Word is born.
You know what I'm saying? Can I get that?
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's see how they gonna do it.
There you go. You live.
My people ain't gonna chime in like yours. Where's born?
So the brother went live. So we live on his Facebook. What's your Facebook page?
Dooney Man. DOONEYMAN. Yep.
Dooney Man.
Yep.
All right.
So if you want to chime in on that, you know, you want to see what happened, you know.
These are the Kings County off black face masks, right? The symbol on this is like off white, but we added a cross, so we made it on black. This symbol right here is a symbol for chaos magic. Everything that you've been going through since January is chaos magic, right? Mm-hmm. It's all chaos magic. There's a form of chaos magic. They have something called meme magic. They have chaos magic. And that's what Donald Trump and the rest of these Europeans and whatnot are utilizing. They're utilizing chaos magic. Melanin is chaotic. Melanin is chaos. We are walking chaos magic. Black folk, right? But we don't know this. We don't know our magic. We don't know the fact that they had to convince us that this disease was deadly for us to start dying. They don't know. You don't know that this psyop is being aimed directly at you, black people. The fact that you were going through stress for all of these months, now they're going to roll out the killing of us, right? Because the fact that they launched that video yesterday, you know, he got killed in February, the brother Ahmad, and I believe his family was pushing to get the footage out.
Oh, yeah?
Right? But the fact that the footage is out now, right? The fact that the footage is out now, and then the same day, they have, right? This is around a Scorpion full. This is a Scorpion moon, right? So Scorpion is death. Pluto was in retrograde. Pluto was death. Pluto is death, straight up. It's bodies. It's in retrograde. Now, this retrograde is dealing with looking inside. Somebody said that the Jason months are coming early. No, the Jason months were programming right now. You got to remember what the Jason is about. June, August, September, October, November. That's the programming period to push what's coming in December, January, February, March, and then it goes all the way back into the Jason again. You feel me? That's how this thing works. That's how this thing works. So you want to interview me just from my gram?
Do it.
Yeah. So we're gonna do it like this. The brother gonna interview me instead of being the split screen and all of that, because I could tell him go in another room and just call me.
Yeah.
But he right here, so we don't gotta go through all of that. You know what I'm saying? But let me just finish on that. The fact that we're being inundated with stimuli, and this stimuli is affecting us emotionally, right? I'm not being conspiratorial. I'm not saying that they did that on purpose. What I'm saying is that you have to pay clear attention to the times that we're in. This is a very high time right now. Pluto is in retrograde. This moon is very powerful. It's dealing with a lot of death, bloodletting, and things of that nature. You have to be able to channel your anger. Niggas are mad right now. The rappers, right? The rappers. These rappers are running around fake angry, right? They got issues. Oh, I'm mad that black people are dying. LeBron James is upset. He's heated. All of the Snoop Dogg dogs and everybody, they all tight. But this is the question that I would ask the rappers who are expressing their concern about black people being killed by white folk, right? What are you going to do about it? Because you have the power to influence somebody to do something. This man got killed in Georgia. Georgia is the home of the shooters. Let's go into it. And I have to be very careful about what I say because we're on Mark Zuckerberg's network. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
They said that it was frozen. And they'll try to, they out here building up cases and whatnot about people who have a mitigated gall to get on social media and not be censored and not get on social media and talk about other men's, and be on some stupid chatty patty shit. Like if you have the balls to get on here and say what needs to be said, then they're gonna either censor you or you'll be persecuted later on down the line. But at the end of the day, enough is enough. The questions have to be asked. You niggas got enough money to drop a bag to make this whole thing go away. Zimmerman threatened the life of Jay-Z. If you don't believe me, go and Google it. Zimmerman threatened the life of Jay-Z. Right? It's on record. He said he was going to feed him to the alligators, to the point where Zimmerman caught a charge. He got locked up. He got locked up because he was going so hard on the producers of the Trayvon Martin documentary with death threats. He caught a charge. And he caught a charge, and along with that charge is the death threat that he gave Jay-Z, and I believe it was Beyonce too. So Jay-Z, a billionaire, right, with mass shooters around him. This niggas is signing shooters. He's signing shooters to his label, right? He got a whole bunch of niggas from the hood wearing paper plane hats. He got all of these niggas that's coming home from jail getting fucking Puma deals and whatnot. He flying around in a Puma airplane. He got all you niggas wearing mauve and all of these fucking you know, all of these nice fucking neon colors and these pastels to his brunches, right? The hood, I'm talking about, I know the shooters that he got on his team, personally, right? And he got them in Atlanta. The Griselda niggas is in Atlanta, right?
Wow.
And a bunch of Brooklyn niggas is in Atlanta. Okay? Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, Flatbush, all you niggas be on running around following Jay-Z. Y'all are down with The Rock. Right? So, my thing is this. If they put they done put the niggas' addresses out there, right? Yeah, hit me on the inbox, my brother. Hit me on the inbox because, like I said, business was shut down. Business is just getting back up. So I was down and out for about 2 months dealing with everything. You know, Harlem, New York got shut down. My business got closed. You know what I mean? So we know that they put the address out of the two assailants who basically committed cold-blooded murder, right? They committed cold-blooded murder in real time. One of the men are friends with the governor, right? These are quote-unquote white supremacists to the core. But these are the same Europeans that just marched on Detroit. I'm eating pumpkin seeds. These are the same Europeans that marched on Michigan. I'm sorry, right? These are the same Europeans that are marching on state capitals armed to the fucking teeth. What are the police doing to them? They're not outside the Capitol. They're going inside the Capitol with masks on and straight up assault rifles, not handguns. They're coming in with the AR-15s, right? The 30-30s. They're coming in with them big boys. You know what I'm talking about? They're coming in with them big boys, right? And one of the things that the news did not mention about the protests that took place in Michigan, and I know that they're being facetious, and thank you, Nubia. I know they're being facetious about the whole situation because what the news did not mention, right? What the news failed to mention when reporting about the Michigan situation, right? They did not mention that the Michigan militia, the same people that stormed the Capitol 2 times, they are identified as the 4th largest standing army in the world. Did you know that? Yeah, the shooting of the brother took place in February because Jupiter is in retrograde is being highlighted right now. The USA released the quote-unquote disclosure videos of the UFOs. That's all dealing with the retrograde. Those 2 videos were out 2 years ago. Everything is resurfacing because Pluto is in retrograde. Things are coming back. Pluto is deaf. So his death is being highlighted because it was hidden. So things that are being hidden are being revealed. And things, the deaths, murders, they're going to find out, they're going to solve murders, and a lot of things are going to be uncovered because that's what this retro is about. So going back to what I was saying about the Michigan Hunters. The Michigan Hunters are the 4th largest standing army in the world. The American gun owners are the largest standing army in the world outside of China. American gun owners, not the U.S. Army, not the Navy, not the Marines. It's the Europeans who hold hunting licenses. They are considered to be the largest standing army in the world. Those are the same people that are at the Capitol. Those are the same people who have been radicalized since the Obama administration going into Trump. Those people are now suspected white supremacists, okay? They're not hunters. They're not hunters. Right? So, they are, and then the president, Donald Trump, the same president that people who look melanated are saying that they are going to vote for, and they're trying to tell you to wear a red hat and go on to vote for him to make your ancestors turn over in their quote unquote graves. Now, the Michigan Hunters is the Michigan militia. The Michigan militia is also part of the Michigan police force, right? Case in point, why the quote unquote police was standing right there during these quote unquote these were armed resurrections. I mean, these were armed insurrections, and they didn't do anything. I saw a video where they were trying to arrest a European who was open carrying. He had a gun on him, and they were trying to arrest him, and he was resisting arrest. And they were like, they were being very careful as to how they touched this man. So President Donald Trump put out a tweet to say, "Liberate Michigan." Now, if anybody doesn't understand the language of the quote unquote Tea Party, if you don't understand the language of the Bundys, right? Not Ted Bundy. I'm talking about the Bundy Ranch. I'm talking about the Bundy Ranch. Go and look up the Bundy Ranch. The Bundy Ranch was, they had remember the standoff at the Bundy Ranch between white sovereigns and the federal quote unquote, the FBI. The FBI killed one of them, right? But there was like a 20 some odd day standoff at the Bundy Ranch, right? So these Europeans who are the militia are beginning to make moves around America, right? They're having these quote unquote rallies. These rallies are not about, I don't want to stay at home. These rallies are recruitment rallies. These rallies are them linking up during a lockdown to share information, not Waco, Texas. Bundy Ranch. Go and look up the Bundy Ranch. That was like 3 years ago. President Trump pardoned the Bundys. Okay? President Trump pardoned, meaning that he has no charges. President Trump pardoned the Bundys. He didn't wait till he left office. That was one of the first pardons that he did. So, if you don't know the language that's being utilized, they're blowing dog whistles. They could create, if they wanted to. If they wanted to, they could have an insurrection right now. Now, leading up to November, this 2020 election is going to be very ugly. Right? It's going to be extremely ugly. They are not, the people who are calling themselves Republicans, they're not giving up America to a Democrat. Let's be clear. Especially with all of this stuff about, they waiting for Obama to get locked up. Because of the whole Podesta, Hillary Clinton, Pizzagate, all of that. They want Michelle and Obama in the Bing. That is a fact. That I promise you. That is, remember, Trump is a birther. Trump was on Obama. Trump was standing there when they were burning effigies of Obama when he was in the White House. So a president tweeted to liberate Michigan. Do you know what that means in the language of insurrection? Liberate Michigan means to create a coup d'etat. Liberate? How can a president tweet to liberate a state? Imagine during the quote unquote Million Man March, the second one that took place in DC, right? That was in 2000. Insurgents is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. That's the true definition.
This is an insurgents. You're seeing insurgents taking place in your face. And then when black people in New York coming together just to give each other dap, police is hopping out the sky like Fortnite. They coming out the sky like paratroopers. Like, are y'all standing close? Is there 4 feet? You know what I mean? Are y'all 4 feet next to each other? And then they just commencing to smacking black men. Did you see the video with a officer in New York? He smacked him with an open hand. It was one black man against another one. He hit him with an open hand. You understand? That's total disrespect. If you gonna hit me, at least close your hand, bro. Like, come on. You know what I'm talking about? He smacked him out of his sneakers. He smacked him out of his sneakers. So, the Michigan militia linked up and stormed the Capitol. Prior to that, they did it in Richmond, right? So, for those of us that are the researchers, right? For those of us that are researchers, you really have to think about what you're seeing. They're storming the capital of where the Civil War, or where the Confederate, quote unquote, the Confederates were, right? Richmond. Then they storm Michigan. These are the big homies. Now, going back to what I was saying a minute ago. What if Obama put out a tweet that said liberate DC when there were 1 million black men standing out there and they weren't even armed? If they saw a firearm, if they thought that you had a razor on you during the Million Man March in 2016, all hell was going to break loose, right? But imagine if the president said liberate DC while 1 million black men was on that soil. It would be a civil war that night. They would not, there would be no questions asked, not beyond an impeachment. They will pull him out of the White House and put hands and feet on him. So how is it that the president is able to put out a tweet that said liberate Michigan and nobody said anything? I really don't get this. Where are we right now? Is this the Twilight Zone? Like, I'm really trying to figure this out. Because you got to remember the symbology of it all. It's not like somebody was open army, right? Remember, the militia, the Michigan militia is connected to the Oakland militia, is connected to the Connecticut militia, is connected to the West Virginia militia. But the big homies, they're like the BMF of militias. Right? They're like the BMF of militias. The Michigan militia is the one. What they say goes. They are the big homies in this whole ordeal when it comes to the militias in America. They are the top ones. It's the Michigan Task Force and the Michigan militia. So by them going to the Capitol, all of the other militias went to the Capitol. They are the big. They set it off. It's almost like if the conscious community was doing something, and brothers in Harlem set it off, right? No, if brothers in Harlem set it off, how would that speak to the subtleties of all of our soldiers and all of our quote unquote our invisible army who's sitting around America, who's watching the movements of Harlem? If you see us set it off, y'all gonna set it off. So when the militia saw Michigan run up in the state capitol, no arrests, I'm talking about, go and look at the video. They were in the police face like this. You all of their dog breath, all on them. This is a time of social distancing, and you're supposed to wear a mask. If you were to get in front of a armed officer's face and cough on them, what would they do to you? Would that not be considered you endangering their safety? Because nobody wants to go 10 rounds with the Rona. You know what I'm talking about? Nobody wants to go 10 rounds with the Rona. You know what I mean? You don't want that. So if somebody had tuberculosis and they breathed on you, then you could catch a charge. Do you know that? Do you know? Because tuberculosis is transmittable. If you were to cough and breathe on somebody knowing that you had tuberculosis, you would get a charge. So in the Michigan State Building, the Europeans they were not practicing social distance, and they were all in the face of an officer. So the police had the right to protect themselves and use excessive force. There was one arrest. Do you know what that arrest was for? It was for protester on protester violence. Right? But when you flip that around and you look at what's going on in New York City, those brothers have no guns. They're not armed, right? They're not armed. And they are being violently assaulted. They beat that man out of his tennis shoes, all right? They beat that man out of his sneakers, bro. They almost beat him out of his sock, but it was almost off. But they was like, stop. You know what I mean? So, I'm saying all of that to say this, because I don't want to get all worked up with no solutions. I don't want to get people riled up for just to leave you dead in the water. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, definitely prayers for Brooklyn. Prayers for New York City. You know what I'm talking about? Prayers for the town. Because the town is under martial law right now. The town is under police state. Right? It's definitely under a police state. The Cuomos, right, just made a deal with the Gates Foundation to relaunch schooling or education in New York. They are partnering with Bill Gates and that wicked witch Melinda. You know what I mean? I'm surprised they even allowing them to walk around these streets. People are asking me if Obama got an ankle bracelet on, or if Ellen DeGeneres got an ankle bracelet on. I don't really care if they got one. Bill Gates don't got one on. And Dr. Fauci don't got an ankle bracelet on. And Donald Trump don't got an ankle bracelet on. And Jared Kushner don't got an ankle bracelet on. And Ivanka don't got an ankle bracelet. They need bracelets. Since y'all so happy about bracelets these days, and everybody's fucking pet detective, and y'all playing Perry Mason about who's locked up. That's corny. Yeah, Bill Gates don't got a bracelet. Now what? That white man who jumped out of his truck and hit that man with a shotgun, he ain't have a bracelet on. So why are you talking to me about Ellen and her bracelet? Like that's supposed to mean anything. I'm not talking about the court of law, because I'm not the police. Okay? That's not the kind of justice that I'm talking about. I'm not the police, and I'm not sitting around waiting for no trials, because I'm not pro-police. I'm not pro none of that. I'm with the Harambe Code. You know? They doing that to us. Y'all are, y'all pet detectives. Y'all work with the system. You got black people out here rooting for the system. From where? Y'all trust the system now? Like, make up your mind. What are you talking about? Y'all weird. Mad weird to me. You know what I'm talking about? What are you talking about? He was an ex-cop. Hey. What that mean? What that mean? Him being an ex-cop and he shot that man in pure blood, in cold blood. What do that mean? He could have been an ex-president. If you saw Bill Clinton run up on a nigga and shoot him in cold blood, Bill Clinton is a killer. Why are you bringing, I know he's being protected. We know this. He's not at his address more than likely. He ain't, and I promise you, he's not scared of y'all. Him and his son is not scared of y'all. One bit. Don't, black, we so arrogant. We think everybody's scared of us. Nobody's scared of you. Zimmerman is walking around doing him. There's nobody, that went out the window in 2012. Nobody's scared of y'all no more. Y'all just scared. That's why we are so hard on each other. Because we know that nobody's scared of us. So we just here to scare each other now. Nobody. Not a soul. The Koreans is acting up. The Indians is acting up. You know what I mean? The Uber drivers is talking slick now. So now everybody talking about what kind of protection people got. What kind of protection did the president have when he got hit? What are you talking about? Y'all come up with so many excuses. Y'all come up with so many excuses. You know what I mean? Y'all got a long summer. Black people got a long summer. You know what I mean? And I hope that y'all, I hope that summer is beneficial for y'all. You know what I mean? I hope we figure something out this summer that we ain't figure out last summer. Because we just can't keep going like this. You know what I mean? Can't keep going like that. They saying that the shooting was a government psyop. Why was it a government psyop? How was it a government psyop? When was it a government? They killed that man in February. And the video just came out yesterday. What's the psyops in the whole thing? Let me know. Why am I not fasting? It's Ramadan. Damn, bro. The summer is going to be a long summer. But this is the thing that we have to talk about, right? Self-reliance, self-determination, right? Do we have self-determination? And if we do got self-determination, are we going to activate that self-determination this spring? What does self-determination mean? Self-determination means that because of this whole coronavirus, COVID-19 thing, the stores were closed. You was not out there wasting your money. You wasn't out there throwing money around. That you was able to reserve. I hope you was able to reserve some bread, right? And the spell of America, or the spell of the consumer slave, was breaking, right? Because when they took us off the hamster wheel, we realized that a lot of shit that we made as important, or we thought was essential, was not necessarily as essential as we thought it was once we got off the hamster wheel and we sat around our family and we like, oh, wait a minute. We didn't really have to go through all of this. We didn't have to, we didn't have to exert ourselves so much because, once I got a chance to sit back and relax and breathe and whatnot, I realized that I was killing myself, right? I realized that I was stressing myself because stress kills. Stress reduces the immune system, right? So, yeah, Bitcoins is about to hit 10 racks. Shout out to all of the people with their Bitcoins. All right. I'm glad that I made an investment early in life. So now when they lift up the restrictions, you have the opportunity. You have the responsibility to say, I'm not going back to Neiman Marcus. They bankrupt. They about to go bankrupt. Y'all niggas might have to go get your last get your last Ralph on sale. I'm not going back to none of these stores that don't support me. I'm not going back to the, to the Korean hairdressers. I'm not going to eat at the Chinese takeout no more. I'm not going back to Murder Burger, Murder King. I'm not going to White Casket. You got the opportunity to say that this is what you're not going to do. I'm not going to go and eat, GMO meat because I saw that all of the meat plants are closing. I saw that the meat workers are sick. And I know that the fucking animals are the ones that got them sick more than likely. You know what I mean? I feel like the Rona is in the food. If you ask me, I feel like the Rona is not in the air. I feel like the Corona was in that old ass turkey from Thanksgiving that they sold you in like March. Because remember, they send all of the food to China and then China sends the food back. China does whatever the fuck China does to it, right? Because China makes meat out of poop. That's how scientific they are. So the Popeye chicken sandwiches, and all of those, dead animals that died in Brazil when they had the forest fires. All them dead animals that was in Australia. You know, you might be eating that shit. You know what I mean? You might be consuming very bad meat. So I'm not eating. I'm gonna stay off of the meat. I'm trying my best to stay out of these people's stores. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to stay focused because the signs of the times, you have to be focused in order to listen to the signs of the times, because they're really screaming out right now. Look, you have famine, right? The locust brought the famine. You got drought, right? You got pandemic or pestilence, right? You have tornadoes. This was the highest tornado season ever in America last month, right? And you got rumors of war because China is trying to figure out who's responsible for the corona, and they're going back and forth. Now, they both responsible for it, if you ask me. I feel like this is a live exercise. Everybody is in on it, but the people, you know what I mean? And that's what my spirit is telling me. Not to trust China ever. You feel me? China is in bed with America. America's in bed with China. China is the big homie because they run shit and they have a say over America on a global stage. The Democrats are in bed with the Chinese more than the Republicans. Right? MIT, Harvard, Facebook is in China. Apple is in China. Google is in China. Go and look it up. All of those CEOs they all in China. They all rock with China. If you look at the G20 countries, and then if you look at the first countries that had the corona outbreak, they all match up the same. If you look at the countries that participated in the Wuhan military games in 2019, and then you look at the countries that reported the coronavirus outbreak, they're all the same. Go and look up G20 countries and then go and look up corona. Go and look at the countries that are rolling out 5Gs and then go and look up the countries that got the corona outbreak. This is not a coincidence, y'all. Yeah, they caught the mercenaries in Venezuela trying to do a coup d'etat. They're about to knock their heads off. You know, they caught the mercenaries. Yeah, China is the big homie in quantum research. Exactly. China is going to launch the quantum internet before America. Now, there's a new space race. There's a new race and everything. The reason why 5G has to come to America and they're not going to allow no one to stop it is because, oh yeah, my bad. Wuhan is the capital of fentanyl. Thank you, Stevie Jr., little Stevie Jr. Wuhan is the capital of fentanyl. Didn't they have a whole bunch of deaths of fentanyl overdoses on the Ave?
Yeah, they did.
Right? So Wuhan, China is the home. You know, when Frank Lucas, an American gangster, when he went to Asia to go get the work for the low, he went to go get that work. That's what Wuhan is. Wuhan, if you into selling heroin, if you into dope and opium, Wuhan is the quote unquote plug. It is Mexico. What Mexico is to the Perico, Wuhan is for fentanyl. Go and look it up. Go and look it up. Right? Go and look it up. So, in order for any country to compete, they have to have 5G. There's nothing stopping the 5G. In order to compete against China, China is rolling out 5G. This functioning in Wuhan and other provinces as we speak. It is tantamount that they adapt to 5G in order to keep up with the paper, not just the race. In order to make money in the future, you're going to have a 5G connection, right? Because if I'm sending something out, right? If me and you are in a race to be first, and I got 5G and I could send a message out faster than you, then I'm always going to be ahead of you. So if the processing power, if they're utilizing quantum computers for processing power and IBM and Google and all of that, and China's doing the same thing, then you have to utilize any technology that is the fastest. And right now, commercially, 5G is the fastest. So that has to be an adaptation. There's going to be an adaptation. You that's out here that has time on your hands and resources, if I were you, I would go on Udemy. Peace, Mary. Look, I got your mask. He was asking me for face masks. And they here, hit me on my inbox. All right, young Mary, I got you. I'm going to send that to you ASAP. So, think about it. Think about it. Because they're not allowing us to use our quote unquote common sense. Right? The news media, of course they're fake news, but they are whatchamacallit. They are playing ignorant. They're playing dumb. You know? They're playing dumb. And they'll play along. They'll play dumb if the people allow them. You know? So, I have an initiative called the Facts Initiative. It stands for food, art, clothing, technology, and shelter. But I'm going to add on an A and say food,
don't worry about that. That'll get bump me up.
Arms,
Yeah, I got it. You know,
art,
yeah, I don't even use them.
culture, coding, technology, transportation, shelter, and strategy. This is an initiative that I started in 2015. Right? This initiative that we started in 2015 was based off of of a site that we had, a foresight that we were saying that our community, the black community, and more so not just the black community, the conscious community. Yeah, agriculture. Well, agriculture is in food, right? I'm marrying food with agriculture. So if you're into horticulture, if you're growing hemp, if you're growing weed, marijuana, and it's legal, of course. If you're growing anything dealing with food, anything dealing with sustainability for our people, meaning that you produce, right? Because peace, God. Because what we have to get back into is production. Like, we have to get back into producing our own films. We got to get back into producing our own music. We have to get back into production of food. Then we have to get back into positive production with our mates, right? We have to get back into producing the proper seeds. We have to learn the science of raising children and giving birth to them. That's a part of production. One of the reasons why our women are not into producing us is because we're not producing for them, meaning that we do not own the quote unquote, we don't own the channels of production, right? We're not functioning the way that they were functioning in Detroit and in Chicago when they had the factories in places like Cleveland and whatnot. These were Rust Belt towns. These were factory towns. And the black men were working manufacturing, meaning that they were being part of a production line. They were producing. They had the means to have 10 children. They had the means to have 12 and 13 children. They were growing their own food in the backyard. So what did that mean? That means that the women or the mothers or the wives, they had the impetus to reproduce these men. They had the impetus to produce these men. Why? Because these men were producing and these men had produce, meaning that we could go and kill it. We had chickens in the backyard. We had animals in the backyard, and we were growing our own food, right? So the women, when they became pregnant, they did not have to contemplate whether they wanted to get rid of the gods, the star seeds, our future, because they did not think, they were not in a poverty mind state. They didn't even think that they was not thinking about the government coming in to rescue them either, right? They were like, yo, we could do this, right? Cleophas, we gonna have this baby Cleophas. You know what I'm talking about? All right, that's right, Gertrude. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and have this 13th baby, Gertrude. And she was like, Cleophas, I'm gonna push this one out for you, baby. I'm gonna name this one Cleophas the 4th, the 3rd or the 4th. Which one is it? Because I lost count. Right? And that's what was happening. You know what I mean? And that's they was not trying to go and see Bill Gates' father, who was working at Planned Parenthood at that time, you know, depopulating us. Right? And men, brothers, fellas, you know, we have the ability to turn around our mortality rate. Right? We have the ability to switch and to turn around our mortality rate. Why? Why do I say that right now? Because I got a newborn, right? My son came on the 2nd of April, right? I looked in his eyes. I looked at my daughter's eyes. My daughter's 6. I looked at my other son's eyes, who was 12. This has been happening for a while. These children that are coming back are powerful. These children that are coming back have to come back. They don't have a choice. These babies that are coming back are ancestors who have returned. They coming back pissed off too. I'm keeping it a buck. They're not coming back wanting to play flutes and whatnot and play with you niggas. They're coming back ready to burn something down. They're coming back with a vengeance. They're coming back. I looked in my son's eyes and I almost dropped him. I had to tell his mother, get this baby. This little dude, I saw the fire in it. It's beyond indigos at this point. The indigos, those are like the early 2000s. These are star seeds. They are determined. My son is his head is on swivel already. He's only like a month. Not obeying none of the mandates or how they talk about, oh, you gotta, the baby don't lift their heads up. No, he's almost talking. He's about to start talking. You know what I'm talking about? He don't got no birth certificate. We got up out of there without a birth certificate, no vaccine, nothing. They didn't, for them to get the foot, they take the blood out their foot. They beat me in arm wrestling. I had to challenge the nurse to an arm wrestling match because I wasn't just going to let them get away with it. Like, I was like, you know what? If you could beat me in this arm wrestling match, then y'all could get this little nigga's blood. And then she beat me and then they got his blood. But that was it. That was it. And I was standing right there when they took it. So they didn't give him the chip. He didn't get chipped up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't, he's not filled up with poisons. He's being breastfed. Am I unvaccinated? No, I got vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? I did. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. I got vaccinated later in life. My mother didn't vaccinate me, but later on, I think it was my stepmother. She lined me up. I got chicken pox when I was like 18. I'm a late pox. I was late pox.
Yeah, Tupac.
I had Tupac. I had Tupacs. Right? My son ain't smiled yet. Somebody said that their son barely smiles. Yo, my son, he did not smile yet. And I'm good with that. You know what I'm talking about? I understand what he's going through. And when he cries like he's in a shootout. I'm like, damn, bro. You all right? He cried like he getting shot. But I know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I know what that is. That's that power. That's that energy. He is intense. I thought I was intense. God damn. I'm like, fam, just lighten up for once. He is intense because these babies are intense. And I'm saying that because so many intense elders are coming back, we can't afford to get rid of them like that. Willingly and knowingly. I had to unfollow one of these IG thoughts and whatnot early in the corona game because she did a video talking about, oh, the abortion clinics are closed. I need my abortions. I'm like, what? What kind of Negro fucking babble is this? You know what I'm saying? But that's where it's going. That's where it's going. The elites really do got ankle bracelets. Once again, there you go. You know, hoping that's your hope campaign. You hope that somebody's going to lock people up. You don't want to do it, though. You hope that somebody's going to get punished outside of you putting your foot on a nigga neck. I'm saying that fuck the speculation about house arrest. If they on house arrest, good. Why they not in jail, though? You know what I'm saying? And when they go to jail, who do you know in jail that's going to handle these niggas? Because Dylan Roof is in jail. Right? Zimmerman been locked up a few times. It's a whole bunch of people in jail. What do that mean? Harry Weinstein is in jail. Did anybody see that nigga for what he did to Lupita? Did anybody go and see him for that? Huh? Do you think that women should find males to partner with during these times? Not at all. Nah, keep your ass, I think that people should be working on detoxing right now. If you're not with a mate, I think that you should, you know what? Let me take that back. Having a mate during times like this is important. If you don't have a mate, having a good friend in times like this is important. But if it's somebody that you don't necessarily know like that, you just want to bring in a stranger and you don't know, this is not the time to figure out if a nigga clean or not. Right? The Aryan Brotherhood is going to take them under their wing if they go to jail. Yes, they are. But the Aryan Brotherhood done got touched in jail many times. So what do that mean? They out there, what do that mean? What do that mean? That don't mean nothing. The Aryan Brotherhood, what do that mean? You mean to tell me that they are running? No, that don't mean nothing. The Aryan Brotherhood. Go tell that to some of the superiors that's locked up. Go tell that to the GDs and all of them. Go tell that to the BGF, Black Guerrilla Family. They don't run a damn thing. I don't know where y'all been, but they not running nothing. They are not too powerful to get that work. The rappers need to stop playing games because they're going to record a song about killing a black man today. They're not going to record a song about going after them brothers and they're going to say, oh, don't say that, Red Pill. That's not. No, they're going to record a song. They're going to go to a club and put their IG live on and turn up to black men talking about killing each other. And then they're going to get on social media and act wild diplomatic about these people doing their business to our people. I'm saying that that's fake. I'm saying that at any other time you would call that fugazi. I'm saying that that's not real. They're not real. They're not about the people. They're about reactions. They're about emoting. They're about black rage. You know what I mean? But they're not about the solutions because they know the solutions like I know the solutions. And if I know the solutions, why don't they know the solutions? They can make a phone call. They can send out a tweet and change things right now. But they're not doing that. If Donald Trump has the balls enough to say liberate Michigan, then Sean Combs has the balls enough to say, take care of those dudes who killed the brother in Georgia. Right? It's on the same level and nobody can say nothing. You know what I'm saying? We want hood justice. All he got to tweet is Harambe Code. That's all he got to tweet. You know? Third Eye Thursday tonight, y'all. YouTube, 10 p.m. All right? We'll pull up.
Less even bad breath when you living is better than good breath. When you lack flesh, got a glass chest that I cracked and my lost breath hasn't made it back yet. I'm on my left.